Well, g'day curd nerds. Today we're making Jarlsberg. Now, Jarlsberg is a Norwegian twist on Emmentaler, and it is a holy cheese. It's a little bit of a washed curd cheese, and you'll see that during the process. And the cheese is cooled down initially when you mature it, and then you bring it up to room temperature for the aging period, and therefore it forms rather large holes, or better known as eyes. Anyway, on with the cheese.
Well, the ingredients for this cheese is 9.5 litres of full cream milk, 500 mils of light milk or 2% fat, quarter teaspoon of Thermophilic culture, so MO92 in this case, eighth of a teaspoon of propionic shamani, 2.5 mils of calcium chloride and 2.5 mils of liquid rennet. Now you are going to need some saturated brine solution and some cheese wax if you're going to wax your cheese. So first of all, we're going to heat the milk to 33 Celsius or 92 Fahrenheit. And you can see that the milk's up to temperature on my little thermometer there. And we're going to add the Thermophilic culture. So Thermophilic culture has a unique property that you can heat the milk up a lot higher and make the grains of curd a lot smaller. So get a harder cheese. So then we add the propionic shamani. Now this gives the Jarlsberg or any Alpine type cheese a nutty flavour, and it also creates eyes. So we just pop that in there, and we're going to let that rest for 3 minutes, and then we're going to let that rehydrate and then give it a stir. So I'm not trying to put air into the milk, I'm just stirring it so the cultures are mixed through thoroughly there. So we're going to allow the milk to acidify now. Pop the lid on, make sure no fluff or dust gets into your milk. And that sits at the target temperature. So that's 45 minutes. So 45 minutes later, the milk has acidified. And we're going to be adding in the calcium chloride to add a bit more soluble calcium in. This milk has been pasteurised, but it's not homogenised, so I managed to get hold of some creamline milk. So once that's stirred through for about a minute, then we add in the rennet. So this is liquid rennet. I've diluted it in 1/4 cup of non-chlorinated water, same as what I had with the calcium chloride. So stir that through for no more than 1 minute. So that's still sitting at the target temperature. The heat's off now. I turned the heat off once it came up to temperature. Milk has a unique property that it actually holds its temperature quite well for quite a few hours. So pop the lid back on and we wait 45 minutes before we get a clean break. So let's have a look for that. So using the knife, yep, there's a nice clean break, splits well. Now you can use your finger if it's clean. Many cheesemakers do. In fact, I do most times. So we're going to cut the curd pretty small. So 7.5 mil, which is a 0.3 of an inch. So just do the horizontal cuts there, and then I'm going to do the vertical cuts with a whisk. This is something unusual. I don't usually use this, but in this case, this really gets your curd size quite small, and don't have any problems with that. And just do that a few times through. So you're just gently pushing it down to the bottom and pulling it up. And the wires of the balloon whisk cut the curd for you. So we're going to stir that now for 20 minutes. And through the magic of video, there it is 20 minutes later. You can see it's quite small. Starting to get down to your little fingernail size. So now you're finished stirring, just pop the lid on and let that rest for 5 minutes. Now in the meantime, heat some about 5 litres of water up to 60 degrees Celsius, which is 140 Fahrenheit. So after the 5 minutes, you'll find that the curds have settled a little bit. And what we're going to do, we're going to use the strainer and a ladle just to take the whey down to the level of the curds. So we've done that there. I've kept the whey for some lovely ricotta. Now, give that a stir before you add the hot water in. Just to make sure that the curds don't mat when you add the warmer water. And then we grab our pot of water. Clip your thermometer on first, of course, or you won't know what the temperature is going to be. So just pour that in up to the level of where the whey used to be. So the temperature should be now at 38 Celsius, 100 Fahrenheit. And what we're going to do over the next 30 minutes, so take it slowly, we're going to increase the temperature to 42 degrees Celsius, which is 108 Fahrenheit. So this is slow so that you don't expel too much whey from the curd. So this is 30 minutes later, and we can see that the curd has shrunk considerably. And we're going to let that rest for another 5 minutes, just make it easier to drain. Now just using my trick, I'm going to put my mould underneath the cheesecloth. Just makes it easier later on. And we're going to pour the curds and whey through that. Now you can't use the whey there that's in here because it's been watered down. Won't get much ricotta out of that. So that's why it's going straight down the sink. Now just put the curd mass into your cheese mould. Get all the little bits out. And at the same time, that's actually draining the curds, which is great. Rightio. So now my hands are clean again. I'm just going to take that and we're going to press the cheese. So what I'm doing there is just pulling the cheesecloth out a little bit so there's no creases in the side of the finished cheese. Rightio, so we'll just transfer that to the area where I've got the press. Fold a bit of cheesecloth over, put the follower on top, and then pop it into your press, however you're going to press it. Now press it for 11 kilograms or 24 pounds for 30 minutes. You see the whey is running clear, so that's a good sign. You're not pressing too hard. So after the initial 30 minutes, we're going to take it out of the press. And we're going to take it out and redress it. Just flip it over. It's quite firm at this stage because it has been heated to quite a high temperature for a cheese. Just going to make sure there's no fluff or hairs or bits or whatever on your cheese, and then just redress that, pop that back into your cheesecloth, into the cheese mould, pop the follower back on top, and we're going to press it again. So we're just going to take it out again. There we go, and it's nicely formed there. We're going to press it at the same pressure again. So 22 kilos, 50 pounds for another 8 hours. So now that the final pressing has happened, we're going to put it into our brine solution. There we go, just looking for imperfections. It's all good. So I have a lot of brine in there. I've just made up a freshly made batch of brine for this cheese, 18% solution. If you want to know how to make brine, check out the card that appears now. So I'm just going to scoop out some of the brine and save that for later. Put it in another container and put it into my cheese fridge. Now just testing that. No, it's still going to, whoops, still overflowing a bit. So let's take a little bit more out. Here we go. So that's about 750 mils. I added too much in there. So now pop the cheese in, and yep, that's perfect. The brine's coming just under the level of where the lid goes on. So I'm going to brine that for 12 hours. I'm going to turn it once at the 6-hour mark. Don't forget to do that, because at the moment the top of the cheese isn't getting brined consistently. So once it's out of the brine, we're going to air dry that for 2 to 3 days. We're going to turn that daily. Now the way I protect my cheese from fluff and stuff, I put a cheesecloth over the top of that, just like that. Keeps the flies out, all that sort of stuff. Then we're going to wax our cheese. And if you want to know how to wax a cheese, check out the card here. And then we're going to let that ripen at 10 degrees Celsius for 2 weeks, turning daily, and then 18 Celsius for 4 to 6 weeks, turning twice weekly. Well, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget you can visit our shop and check out some of our other cheese making videos. There's chili, queso, fresco, and paneer. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.